Hi everybody, my name is Robin and welcome to my channel, Bird's Eye Stitches. This is a channel about cross stitch, so if you are new here, then welcome. Hopefully you are here because you have a love of cross stitch like I do. And if you are returning, then still welcome. Clearly you are here because you have a love of cross stitch like I do. Today is Sunday. It is June 1st already. It has been ages since I last filmed, and clearly there's a whole different background going on behind me. So, life updates at the end, but clearly I am in a different location. I have moved. I've only been here for like a week-ish. So I figured since I'm here, I am kind of sort of settled, like this much settled, and I really wanted to jump on and at least get a good check-in, say hello, film a Flosstube. It's the first day of the month and it's a Sunday, which is the normal day that I usually film. So we will jump right into it. I'm gonna go over some of the things that I have been stitching over the last month or so. I'm gonna go over my plans for the month of June. Some of the things I can't even show you because they're packed in boxes somewhere. I'm like 80% unpacked, but I'm missing a few things, trying to reorganize all of that stuff. So I'll go through the little pile I have next to me and we will go from there. Okay, so to get started, what do we have? First thing on the top of my pile is I have some of the pieces that I worked on over the previous month. So last month, I think it was last month, it feels like it was ages ago, but last month I went and I visited my friend Carolyn from Seasook Stitch, and we attended the Acorns and Threads, the beach stitch retreat. Had a fabulous time. It was glorious. There was cross stitching, there was Carolyn, there was a beach, there was seagulls, there was everything you could possibly love. So I have most of the pieces that I worked on while I was there. A couple of them are in the abyss of my boxes, but that's okay. You'll see them next time. No big deal. So first up, I worked on two pieces from Just Cross Stitch magazine. This is the Just Cross Stitch magazine, April of 2025, so semi-recent, looks like this. And first piece I worked on is called Quaker Posies. Their piece looks like this. Mine looks nothing like this, although this matches my garage t-shirt really well. I've got a whole green theme going on. Okay, I did not stitch mine in green. Sorry, Gary. I actually stitched mine. I have a bird wall, which I will show you the start of behind me yet again. So I have the bird wall, but I know a lot of people have like a red sampler wall or just a red wall or something. I realized I don't have anything red, and I was apparently feeling very traditional because I wanted to do this piece in more of a traditional, it's a sampler, it's a baby one. Sampler, okay, there's no alphabet, so maybe it's not a sampler, but it just looks traditional to me. So I pulled out a piece of fabric that I got at Goodwill ages ago. It is a piece of 34 count legacy linen in the color Coconut Macaroon. And then I pulled out a piece of DMC in the color 347. So mine looks like this. So I am this far. I did all of this stitching at the beach retreat, which is pretty darn good considering the amount of chit chat that we do. But because it was only one color, it was a really good piece to work on while I was there. And I absolutely love the look of this DMC 347 on this linen. Super pretty. So that is my version. And again, this is the green. Both pretty, but very different look in the end, for sure. For sure. All right, the next piece that I worked on while I was there and have not picked up since leaving was Signs of Spring. So this piece looks like this. And I chose these pieces just because they were fairly simple because I was just using one color one color floss. So looks like this. Also, I realized I didn't really have any, I don't have a whole lot of small spring things that I could FFO and put up around me. So this would be a really nice piece for that in the future. For mine, I found a piece of just white Lugana floating around in my stash. And then I happened to find this piece of very pretty floss. It's by Jody Redesigns, hand-dyed thread in the color Parakeet. It's an old tag, looks like this. It'll focus. And it looks like rainbow sherbet. Literally rainbow sherbet. Looks like this. I'm hoping that I have enough because I have no idea where I will ever find any more of that. But I do have a backup plan just in case I run out. So, all right. I did not get nearly as far on this one, but I am here. So these colors are really pretty, very rainbow sherbety, very springy. And that is just this little, where did I start this guy? Oh, I started in the middle, yeah. In the center, right in this area here. So I will be pulling both of these back out probably next month. I don't have either of these set on my rotation for the month of June. I've got a lot of other fun pieces to work on instead. Although the piece that I have pulled for our Magazine Monthly Cross Stitch Challenge, the theme this month is Candy Shop, and the piece that I was going to work on is Comfort and Joy, which is a magazine piece. But Comfort and Joy is one of my missing cross stitch pieces, missing in one of the boxes. So I may replace that, now that I'm looking at it, with this piece here, because this color floss very much looks like candy or taffy, something along those lines. So that would be totally fitting. And at least for me, I try to use magazine pieces for my acrostic, just for the theme. So I might be making a swap. Stay tuned to find out. Okay, so I worked on those two pieces while I was at the retreat. Then, is this a retreat piece? Let's see. Oh, I lied. I found the Comfort and Joy. That one is not a missing piece. I also worked on this piece while I was at the beach retreat. It's another magazine piece. And it was Comfort and Joy from Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine. And this was the 2020 Christmas Winter edition. Comfort and Joy looks like this. Now I am stitching mine on just an old piece of 14 count natural Aida with the called for DMC. I worked on this a little bit before the retreat as well as while I was at the retreat. And I am, get this guy here. We are here. So I did good work on this bird. When I first got there, I had gotten a good chunk of like the bird's head done, but I did the whole rest of the body. And then I started working on this flower, and I was chit-chatting quite a bit while working on that flower. So I actually had to frog that flower at least once because one of these petals was just not matching up. But we're good to go now, and this is where we're at. So I will say that that other piece is more fitting for a candy shop, but I really want to work on this bird because I will show you the bird wall here in just a moment. Disregard the little holes there. I haven't patched those just yet, but it's a work in progress. So that is where we're at for now. And this will be my theme piece for the Magazine Monthly Challenge. So we'll go over that here in just a little bit. Right. I've got the Comfort and Joy piece in my Garan bag from the old school Peter Pan. I think this was one of my first or second bags that I ever picked up from Garan, and it's still one of my very, very favorites. So I love this one. All right, the next piece I was going to show is a magazine piece that I worked on over this previous month. I did not bring this one to the beach retreat with me, but this is Spring Has Sprung. It was in the World of Cross Stitching issue number 40. Looks like this. And it will eventually look something like this. I love yellow, I love birds, I love flowers. It has all the things. So I am stitching mine on a piece of Carnival 28 count even weave, I guess. And this was by Picture This Plus. All right. I am here. Got a little bit of backlighting here, so let me just put this behind it. Okay. So I've done quite a bit of work on this. Over the last month, I added all of this yellow up here. I've done quite a bit of fill-in in the background with these different purples and greens. I also did some backstitch. So we've got the backstitch going on this white flower now. For this one, I am backstitching as I go. So once I get to the point where I've done all the fill-in, then I'll go through and do the backstitch. So I'm just about done with the fill-in here, and then I'll need to backstitch the rest of this flower and go from there. But this will be really beautiful. Really beautiful one of these days. That's that one. This, I believe, was my theme piece last month. So I got about 4 hours in on that. And yeah, I do not think this one's gonna come out this month, but it may for the month after that. So we will see where that goes. All right, next up are the pieces that I am not only working on now or more recently, but also some of them that are going to be worked on in this following month. So the first one was E Pluribus Unum, I can never say that right, by Jan Hicks. Will look like this. Mine should look very close to this because I am stitching mine with the called for floss and a very similar but not exact fabric. So I just love this piece. I love the colors and I love the floral daintiness of it, even though it is a flag. So I can't wait to get this one finished and get this one hung up in the new home. So I'm stitching mine on a piece of, what is this, 32 count linen in the color Toasted Almond. It is from the Garan Stitchery Fabric of the Month Club, and this is one from Fabrics by Stephanie. I was super excited whenever Gary and Ronnie started carrying Fabrics by Stephanie for the monthly clubs, because she's just one of my favorite dyers, so I had to jump on board with that one. Okay, here is where we are. So I've got all of the words done, or all the lettering done. And then this sea of blue. This blue is a beast. So just so I don't get completely burnt out, I wanted to get all the way down to the bottom of the blue just to help myself keep track better. So this is the top to bottom of the blue. So it's just gonna go this square here, or should I say here. And then now that I have at least that part mapped out, I am pulling, you know, one piece of floss, or, you know, one like whole strand. There we go. I put one strand of the blue and I'm stitching, you know, all 6 of them. I'm gonna keep working on this till I get that one strand done. And then when I finish, then I move to the next color stripe and I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna pull one strand of that floss and I'm gonna stitch that stripe all the way down until that one strand is done of the floss. And then I'll go back to the blue and then back to the next color, and so on and so forth. So it's gonna take a minute, that's okay. But this piece here is on my acrostic twice for the month of June, and will also be my cross stitch 25/7 piece. So I worked on this piece yesterday. Yeah, just yesterday. So yesterday was Saturday, and it was the last Saturday of the month, which means it was the monthly Zoom meeting for the magazine monthly cross stitch challenge group. So I got a little bit of work done on that. In fact, I started this pink color during that call. So yeah, this one should get a pretty good amount of progress just because it'll be my 25/7 piece, and we'll get about 4 hours for the acrostic. All right, next up. Okay, I've got my little pile here next to me. I wish I could move this phone easily, but that is all the pieces that I have pulled out to show. The next thing that I have to show you guys is I have a little bit of haul, just because when I was emptying out my suitcase from the move and all that other stuff, I discovered my small amount of haul from whenever I went to go visit Carolyn. Some of it was stuff that I picked up, and some of it was stuff from the freebie table or things that were gifted to me. So before I get them all officially put away, I wanted to show them to you guys, and then we'll go over some plans, and then a couple very small life updates if anybody wants to hear them at the very end. So, all right, haul. Now I am doing Stitch from Stash, so I do still need to calculate how much all of this stuff cost me. I was doing really good, even though I'm on a zero budget year. I still had some, funds in my account from some finishes that I did earlier in the year. But after this, I guarantee I am going to be in the negative, so I need to get on and get some finishes going for sure. But this one did not count because it was a freebie on the freebie table. And it was Fractor Birds number 3 from Owl Stitching House. I mean, look at these colors. These colors and the birds. It will totally look great up there one day. Don't know when, but one day. So I picked that one up. So thank you to whoever left that one on the table. This next one, this was a Seazook inspiration. It will also be my birthday start. So I went to Acorns and Threads, of course, with Carolyn. And while we were there, we were looking for a piece that we could work on or start together. And she picked up this one. And when I first saw this one released, it didn't really speak to me that much. But for some reason, when Carolyn picks it up, and for some reason I've been really into blues, which is very different for me. I normally am not that into blues, but I like the blues on this piece. They're like blue and gray, very subtle. Yes, there's an alphabet, but look at these flowers. These flowers, these colors, they detract from the alphabet. So I picked this piece up. I am stitching it on the called for color, which is Platinum Belfast Linen. I'm doing mine on 32 count. Looks like this. And we'll be starting this in August. So I still have to kit up the rest of this because I'm not even gonna mess around with trying to substitute out colors, because the colors are what partially drew it to me in the first place. The colors in Carolyn, anyway. So that's gonna count against me, but that's okay. It will be worth it. So this one will be starting in August. So stay tuned for that. Then I saw the Lola Crow table at Acorns and Threads. First of all, they had this one stitched up, and it was so stinking cute. So my husband loves raccoons, so does my daughter. And this one has a raccoon who is cross-stitching. Like, it does not get any cuter than that. Plus, look at all these other little critters. They all have their cross-stitch pieces, and the skunk. I'm not sure what's going on with this possum who may or may not be dead. I'm really not sure, but I had to have it. I don't know when I'll stitch it, but I picked it up. I also fell in love with this one. It's the book cage bookmark. Looks like this. I do have a bookmark piece of fabric. It's about this exact color. So when I come across it, we'll be starting this one. And then I had 2 pieces that were either on the freebie table or just gifted to me. One is the Blue Flower Strawberry Bird. This one was just really pretty and would look really nice on the bird wall. And we have Red Bird Sampler by Brenda Gervais. Looks like this. Super pretty. I like the reds. Not sure about this house, I just now noticed it, but very, very pretty. Okay. Then I found this amazing bag on the freebie table. How pretty is that? I love the pinks and I love the nice bright birds. Very nice. And what did I put in here? Oh, inside this bag was the item, it's the kit that we got for attending the Acorns and Threads Stitch Retreat. So this is Seasons of the Heart. It's called Shore S'mores. Looks like this. It is super cute. Sorry, there's a bunch of glare on that one. How cute. And so they passed around this, like a fully finished, adorable little pillow. They passed it around for us to look at. And of course the sample was done on a 40 count piece of linen. It inspired me. So you got to choose basically whatever count you wanted to stitch this on, and they, provided the fabric for you. But because I saw what it looked like on 40 count, I decided I wanted to stitch mine on 40 count because I'm crazy, and we'll see how it goes. So the fabric is called Marbled Khaki. It's by Jude Designs. Again, mine is on 40 count. It is really pretty. It's a really nice green. Try to hold it up a little better for you. Really nice marbling. It's almost like a pistachio green, and then it's got some like khaki brown modeled onto it, so it's really pretty. And then you've got the full finishing kit with it. So you get the stuff from Lady Dot Creates. Very nice, very nice, very nice. So one day when I get this thing stitched up, I have all the stuff to finish it right here. So, and then of course all of the DMC, Weeks Dye Works, all of that stuff is ready to go. All right, so that is all that I had to show in the tiny pile here. We had a couple of things that I worked on. Two things that I did not get to show that are somewhere in the abyss of the unpacking are the Lola Crow, the Fantastic Birds, or the Lola Crow Sal with the big bird cage and all the beautiful birds. I saw that, of course, I had to stitch it. So I did start it over the previous month and a half. I'm about, so I'm using Pattern Keeper for that one. First ever Pattern Keeper, first ever use of Pattern Keeper, I should say. So according to Pattern Keeper, I am 80-something% of the way through the bird cage. And then we embarked on moving. So I have not been caught up at all with the release of the actual birds, but I do have that on my list to work on over this next month as soon as I dig it out of the moving boxes somewhere. So I couldn't show that one to you. The other piece that I really need to do some good work on is the Cat Tarot by Crazy Annie. So you all have seen that in my previous video, but I really want to get some good work done on that piece, and I worked on it quite a bit over the last month. I think I actually packaged those two up together during the move, so that way I wouldn't lose them and I could keep working on them while moving, which really just meant it didn't get put with all the rest of my cross stitch. So it's here somewhere. So you guys will see it next time. That's okay. All right, plans. This part will be quick. So plans for this month, besides getting settled and getting moved, plans are to focus on the magazine monthly cross stitch challenge, the acrostic and the theme. So if you don't know what that is, the magazine monthly cross stitch challenge group is a group on Facebook that my friend Carolyn from Seazook Stitch and I co-run. It's fantastic. I say we do have a monthly Zoom call, and every month we put out an acrostic and a theme, and there's an anagram if you want to do that. We also have pop-up challenges, all the things. The reason it was created was to work on magazines. However, there's no rules. You don't have to work on magazine pieces. I personally choose to work on a magazine piece for the theme, and then I work on whatever I want for the acrostic. So this month, Candy Shop, the theme is Candy Shop. I was going to work on Comfort and Joy because I worked on that piece while at the beach retreat, and there is, of course, an amazing candy shop at Cannon Beach, which I highly recommend to everybody. So it kind of reminded me of that, so I was going to work on that. Now I'm kind of hemming and hawing. I might work on that other piece just because the floss that I'm using literally looks like candy. So I'll figure that out by tomorrow when I start working on my theme. For the acrostic is sweets. So the S's in sweets, I am going to work on the Lola Crow Sal, S for Sal. W is going to be for, I would show you, but I don't have it right here next to me, is the one by Crazy Annie, the cat tarot. And I said W stands for wings because the one that I'm doing is the Lovers, and it has a black cat and they've got some giant wings sticking out to the side. So I'm using that for the W in Sweets, as well as the T. T is for Tarot and Cat Tarot. And then for the letter E, I am going to be working on E pluribus unum because it starts with the letter E. And that is also my 25/7 piece. So I'll get way more than my allotted 2 hours for each letter. So way more than 4 hours will occur on that piece. But I should get quite a bit done on that piece throughout the month. Okay, that's my main goal. My main goal is to get fully moved in, cross stitch, get through my acrostic and my theme, check back in with you guys in 2 weeks. And I think that that will be enough because, as you all know, moving is a pain, but it was a good move. So short life update, as you can see here, this is a work in progress wall, but we've got a little bit of a bird wall going back up there. I'm not going to give you a house tour or anything strange like that right now, but I do have some other cross stitch hung up over there. So I will get some photos of that and maybe even dabble in the world of Instagram, which I'm never on, but it might be fun to kind of get back onto that here and there. But my husband, my daughter, and I, we moved. We are moving into a little bit of a smaller home. It was my husband's house before we got married, and it just works out better for us and our family. So we're moving into this one and selling the other one. So the fun part of that is going through everything and figuring out what you want and what you don't want. The not fun part of that is also going through and figuring out what you want and what you don't want and how to make things fit in a different space. So this background will be changing. It'll look completely different probably by the time that I film next time. But I knew that if I took the time to try to make everything look all put together, that it would be another 2 weeks and then another month, yada yada. So it's the first I jumped on here. I'm at my exact right amount of time, 27 minutes, so close to 30 minutes. So that is perfect. And I will see you all in a couple of weeks. That is my goal. Jump on here 2 weeks on Sunday from now. And feel free to drop a comment, say hello, check in. I read them all, I reply to them all, and I will see you all next time. Happy stitching.